Good evening for online aspirants as well. So we are almost at the verge of our preparation. In today's we are going to appear for the preliminary examination, and so before going to appear in the examination, there are certain aspects. Generally, I can understand the state of anxiousness you have been going through in the recent times. Of course, this is usual. We have already experienced this kind of anxiety even during the 10th examinations or intermediate examinations, isn't it? But of course, it was related to our career, our future. That's why you may be little more anxious. But remember, with this anxiety, there is nothing advantage. So you are not going to fetch any more marks with this anxiety. Better you drop that anxiety. I will tell certain rationalities behind why we should do certain aspects, why we should not do certain things here in this session. So for the next UPSC preliminary examination, there are three aspects I am going to discuss here. First, important topics of revision. So you might have already prepared well, you have already practiced well, you have wrote many test series, and no matter whether you secured more marks or less marks in the preliminary examination, it is not at all relevant to your original preparation, original examination. The idea, objective and the agenda of writing preliminary examination is just to make familiar with the original examination pattern, how to handle that questions in the given 2 hours period. That is what actual aim. It does not mean that the quality of the question is same as that of UPSC examination, or whether if you are not able to solve the questions in this practice test, the same kind of questions will repeat there in the original examination. The only purpose of writing the preliminary examination is to make familiar and to make you to solve the question within the given period of 2 hours. That's why don't judge the questions of the original examination based on your experiences of going through many test series, or even don't judge your marks based on the next examination or the upcoming examination. That's why our preliminary practice test, whatever you have wrote so far, is to make you to familiar with the OMR bubbling and time management, stress management, and within the given period of time, how you can able to revise the relevant topics, most important topics, repeating topics in the examination. That is what actually the purpose of writing the test. So I am going to discuss some important topics in this 48 hours, maybe probably up to Saturday night, Saturday evening up to 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock. There onwards, you should you have to stop your preparation. You should not watch any kind of, you should not read any revision material, any material at all, which is relevant to the UPSC examination. You have to drop all your preparation by the night of the Saturday. So you have to have a very limited meal before the Saturday night. You have to sleep early. You have to sleep early by 9:30 or 10 o'clock. And don't keep in mind that I have to sleep early on Saturday night. So if you are keeping in mind, it automatically creates anxiety. But Saturday night, you try to be very much peaceful. Don't argue with anyone. Don't try to make any arguments or other advocations, or you don't make any point which is uncomfortable to you, no matter it is with respect to the subject or with respect to any other political parties or the political things which is happening. So please remember everything and stay calm. Do meditate in your self itself. So it will boost your confidence, it will boost your memory. And you know, I have seen many of the aspirants, I have many of the friends who are very much excellent in the academic level, and their preparation is also extremely exceptionally good, but still they failed in the examination. The reason is that the confusion, the stress, they could not able to manage at the time of examination. I am advising you to intentionally manage your stress. So if you are having any kind of stress, do certain exercises, physical or breathing exercises. Try to manage your stress, because stress and the confusion at that state of confused mind in the examination will certainly negative for you. That's why you keep calm. So you have done so far whatever you could do, and it is in the fortune and the time will decide your good sense. And next one, I am going to discuss another couple of minutes how to handle the negative marking, and the last minute success tips based on the trends, based on the toppers. All these aspects that I have collected through various sources of the internet, based on my experiences, based on various my friends who were already selected. I have taken some inputs from these people. I have kept these three things. First of all, the topics of revision in the next 48 hours up to Saturday night, you have to revise these things. You might have already revised these topics. So coming to the topics which you need to revise in the next coming 48 hours, with respect to polity, give more emphasis because of major judgments with respect to fundamental rights in the recent times. Fundamental rights, especially Article 14, 19, 21 and Article 32 of the Constitutions are very important this time, based on some important judgments and reiteration of some of the judgments by the Supreme Court with respect to the forest conservation and all. These articles, of course, other articles are also important, give more stress. It does not mean that you have to again read Article 14, Article 14, you have to keep PM Bakshi with you and you have to again go through the fundamentals of Article 14 of the Constitution. It does not mean that. Article 14 has to be finished in 2 minutes. That is what your revision. 19, 21, 32. Don't try to solve the questions in the same topics and don't try to again interrogate the topic. Just go through which you have already done in the preparation. Also, directive principles is also very familiar topic for the examiner. Every time there are questions being asked from the directive principles of the state policy, especially with respect to the Uniform Civil Code, which was in the early 2025, which had some boom in the contemporary issues, directive principles of the state policy, and also major amendments, 42nd, 44th, 52nd Amendment, 73rd and 74th, 86th, 101st Amendment Act, all these are very important. Go through the provisions. In the last part of your Lakshmikant, you will get this list of most important amendments. Just give more focus on these amendments. Simply, just 1 minute or 2 minutes for every amendment. And the President and Governor, which is always important area. Comparisons of President and Governor. So what are the comparative powers, what are the diplomacy, what are the clemency powers between comparative analysis of Governor and President, and with respect to the bills, with respect to the appointments, with respect to the sittings of the houses and adjournment and the parliamentary jargon. You have to give little comparative analysis between the President and Governor, and also the Parliament, money bills and ordinary bills. Recently bills are also, recently also there was one examination where the procedure of the bill has been asked in the recent examination. I didn't remember exactly which exam was that. So you try to compare between Parliament and state legislature, Assembly and Legislative Council, their comparison, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, their comparison, Lok Sabha and Assembly, Legislative Council and Rajya Sabha, their comparison. So see the tables which were already very clearly given in the Lakshmikant. So please go through the tables and it will, at least one question can be asked from this area. And also the Supreme Court and judicial review. Mostly Supreme Court, recently there was Supreme Court Chief Justice, changing of the Chief Justice also. More importantly, there was allegations on one of the judges of the Delhi, Chief Justice of the Delhi High Court. That's why what is that removal procedure of the judges of the Supreme Court, and what is the procedure adopted. Judges Inquiry Act was also there, and you go through that removal procedure of the judges. So when you come to the removal procedure of the judges, automatically, and impeachment of the president also. Just have a comparative analysis between the impeachment procedure of the president and also the removal procedure of the judges of the Supreme Court and the higher judiciary. Constitutional bodies, mostly Election Commission of India, UPSC, and because of that person, UPSC all changed its even application procedure also. That's why give more emphasis on UPSC independency, salaries and allowances, removal procedure of the members of the UPSC, and other non-constitutional bodies. If at all you are having time, go through National Human Rights Commission, and scheduled areas and scheduled tribes are also very important. Scheduled areas and scheduled tribes, Part 5 and Part 6 of the Constitution. Please go through that scheduled areas and scheduled tribes also in polity. And with respect to the economy, monetary policy tools, it is always important. Repo rate, reverse repo rate, statutory liquid ratio. So all these monetary terms, go through these monetary terms, whatever the books you have prepared so far. It may be Ramesh Singh or it may be any other institution material. And even we have given very much compiled material for you. Please go through that material. And also the inflation, types of inflation, and the highlights of 2025 and 2026 budget highlights, go through that budget highlights. Just you will find PRS website will be there in the internet. You just type the highlights of 2026 budget and go through the contributions of GDP in the economic survey, also contribution of various sectors, primary, secondary as well as tertiary sectors, and also some budgetary highlights. And this banking, we have already seen that monetary policy terms and government schemes recently. Pradhan Mantri Gati Shakti Abhiyan, Bharatmala Pariyojana, Sagarmala Pariyojana. All these are very important these times. And questions may be expected that which of the following is not a part of Gati Shakti Abhiyan, which of the following is part of Gati Shakti Abhiyan. Remember, if at all a question was asked regarding the scheme, which of the following is not part of the scheme, if such kind of questions was asked, if the option is related to the larger good of the public, that will be automatically the part of that scheme. For example, if a government bought a scheme called X, which of the following is not part of the program X? It is useful for the women empowerment. It helps in eradication of child malnutrition. It helps in women's safety at the workplaces. It helps in reduction of road accidental deaths. Probably all the options could have correct. Remove that odd option, or otherwise if at all this kind of questions with respect to the schemes, majority of the times if the options are saying about the larger good of the public, if that was saying about the good governance, then most of the cases all the options are right options with respect to the schemes. And external sector, current account deficit, balance of payment, just see the meanings of this terminology. Majority of the times the terminology has been asked in the examination. Coming to the geography, I have given so much of emphasis on our classes as well. El Nino, La Nina, have a look over El Nino and La Nina. And also Indian Ocean Dipole as well. Indian Ocean Dipole also. These are telemeteorological events. El Nino, La Nina, Indian Ocean Dipole. And natural vegetation, important, this time natural vegetation. And monsoons, because we are in La Nina year, that's why monsoons has arrived a little early. Of course, it is not early. This was actually expected time. Monsoons comes to India by May 20th to the Andaman and Nicobar. In the first week of the June, they generally arrives to the west coast of India. According to the expected dates, they have arrived in India. That was a good condition. This positive condition and early arrival of the monsoons is because of the La Nina. That's why La Nina is also important this time. And also earthquakes, earthquake related seismic waves, earthquakes, zonation, all this we have seen elaborately, and that is also important with respect to the disaster related questions. And core aspects, geography, with respect to the core aspects of geography, please go through different types of landforms. Just to see the landform, Jurgens, desert landforms, and oxbow lakes, fluvial landforms, and this kind of terminology. Don't go again through the processes, geomorphical agents, just see the terminology, and I have already clearly mentioned in the material. Coming to the environment and ecology, very important, Ramsar sites increased to 89, tiger reserves increased to 58, national parks 106, and the Forest Conservation Act 1970. In this aspect, Forest Conservation Act 1980, Forest Conservation Act 1980, and Godavarman Tirumalpad case, I have already discussed that. Godavarman Tirumalpad case 1996. This case was related to the definition of the forest because of the felling of the trees in the Hyderabad Central University area. Supreme Court again reiterated this case, Godavarman Tirumalpad case 1996. That's why it is important. So definition of the states, and also Indian State of Forest Report was also released in 2024 December. Also see the highlights of ISFR 2023. Indian State of Forest Report 2023 is also important. The states which has shown increase in the forest cover, states which has shown decrease in the forest cover, states with large mangrove forest area, states with declined mangrove forest area, and northeastern states with decreased forest cover. Majority of the northeastern states which are known for their vegetation and the forest cover, except Mizoram, all other states forest has been declining in the northeastern states. It was very important indication that that northeastern states which are the sources of which are very important biodiversity areas, where the forest has been declining day by day by 100%, 150% like that. That's why go through the Indian State of Forest Report to 2023. If you want, just ping me. I will send the ISF for 2023 highlights, which I have recently prepared for the other classes. And also the tiger reserves, Ramsar sites, national parks, biosphere reserves more especially, and this 2023 ISFR report. And these are with respect to, because we are having limited time, just give 2 to 3 hours for every subject. 2 to 3 hours for every subject for the revision tomorrow and after tomorrow. Alright. And then moving on to the history and culture. Very, very important. Go through the spectrum book. In the spectrum, you will find appendix. In the last, you will find appendix pages. In that appendix, you will see Governor General, their contribution year. In which year he worked as Governor General or the Viceroy, and what were various important acts he brought, and what were the important or the significant events which has been occurred during the Viceroyship of that particular period. So, give a by heart, even if required, give half an hour or 1 hour. You make by heart that, because every time one question has been asking regarding the modern Indian history, Governor General's contribution, and also Mahatma Gandhi's books, Mahatma Gandhi's books, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar's writings, Raja Ram Mohan Rai, and this Brahma Samaj, and these social-religious reform movements. With respect to these social-religious reform movements, give a quick revision. Various select 5 to 6 reform movements, and give a quick revision. Don't again read as if you are completely novel to this preparation. Just give a passing reference, and don't question yourself whether I can able to remember or not. That is not the context as of now. So you have to revise that quickly, go through that particular topic. Automatically, as you have already prepared, it will be connected and it will be struck during the examination. And Buddhism, Jainism, Madura, Gandhara, Amaravati, art and architecture. See the differences between Buddhism, Jainism, Madura, Gandhara, Amaravati, art and architecture. Some examples, materials they have used, and that you will find in Nitin Singhani book, or in the material which we have provided was also actually taken from various resources, and I have compiled that material. You can also go through that, giving just 1 hour for ancient India, and 45 minutes to half an hour for medieval India, 1 hour to 1.5 hour for the modern India. And coming to, this is the first part of our discussion. What are the topics which need to be revised in these 2 hours? Then coming to the second topic, very important. See, I have many of the times I told you earlier also, UPSC preliminary examination, clearing the UPSC preliminary examination is not absolutely subject based. It is not completely subject based. If the preparation, if the subject was playing a role of 35 to 40%, more than 40%, it is played by your skillful selection of the question, your skillful elimination of the option, and how many questions you have been attempting. That is what playing more important role during the preliminary examination. And even toppers also cleared the preliminary examination just with a margin of 0.2 marks, 0.1 marks. That's why don't try to excel in the preliminary examination. On preliminary examination, if we are getting 100 marks, it does not mean that you have to solve all the 100 marks, and don't get insulted, don't get degraded yourself that why I missed this kind of important topic, why I missed this kind of very important fact during the examination, how foolishly I have prepared. Don't question yourself, because examination is what UPSC wanted you to get eliminated from the stream. You have to make any kind of path to fall into that category of the mains examination. That's why never feel stressed, and moreover, think every question independently. Questions are not having any kind of cohesion. If the first question was difficult, it does not mean that the second question was also difficult. Once you solve the question, or even if you could not able to solve the question, leave that question there itself. Go to the next question with again a pure mind and a fresh mind. So don't keep that first question that the paper is under, don't go through all the questions in the first 5 or 10 minutes and don't come to a conclusion that the question paper is difficult. You are not going to judge the question paper, and that is not actually your role. Go through the questions, just see whether the pages has been actually printed or any kind of misprinting was there. If at all anything occurs, just immediately bring to the examiner notice. So we will see this handling, how to handle the negative marking. Whenever there is negative marking, there was a research conducted by statisticians globally. Globally, some more familiar statisticians they made a research. Millions of objective questions has been taken from different countries, different subjects. Millions of the questions has been taken, and based on some softwares, they have solved the questions. Statisticians came to a conclusion that whenever we are having objective based examination like ABCD, 4 option based examination, if at all the option is none of the above, if you find none of the above in your options, if at all you are very much sure about that answer, if you are very much sure that option is right answer, then only go for none of the above. If you want to pick any other option because you don't know the answer, please don't pick none of the above. 47% of the cases, none of the above is a wrong answer. If at all you are very much sure that it is the right answer, unless you don't go for the none of the above, don't choose none of the above, unless you are very sure that it is the right answer. And majority of the times, if at all if you find that all the above are right answer, all the above is in option, then go to that option. In majority of the cases, all the above is right answer. How can you generalize? You may ask, how can you generalize that? So this is not me who generalizing the thing. It is based on the research conducted by the many statisticians globally. They came to a conclusion that majority of the cases, none of the above is a wrong answer. All the above could be probably the right answer, more especially in the questions related to the schemes. All right. Then coming to the how to solve the questions. Whenever after getting the question paper, you categorize. Don't write in the rough work paper category 1, category 2. It does not mean that you have to classify like this. But when you see the question, and you might be knowing that we are having negative marking, so 1/3 of the marks allotted to that particular question. That's why every question we are having 2 marks. That's why there is a negative marking of 0.66 marks negative. That's why you have to carefully answer each question. You categorize the questions into 3 categories, 3 buckets or 3 ranges. First one is you are very sure about the answer. In the first tier, up to 10 to 15, up to half an hour to 45 minutes, you first try the questions which you are very much sure. Every person, or even who prepared substandardly, truncatedly, even he can also solve 25 to 30 questions. Believe me, at least 25 to 30 questions anyone can solve in the examination, UPSC examination. These questions are moderate and easy to pick the answer for these questions. These are straightforward, direct questions, majority of the times direct questions. And when you read such kind of questions, so if at all you are not sure about the options, when the options are confusing you, skip the question for the second tier. In the first tier, go through all the 100 questions, and the questions which you are very much sure, you know the exact answer, you solve the questions in the first instant. So these are first tier bucket or first tier, first level of the questions. Like examples, I have kept some examples. Will UPSC ask this kind of easiest questions? Yes. Okay, there are certain questions which are easy. In which year Indian National Congress has been formed? It is simple, 1885. So these kind of questions which you are very much sure and you know the answers, roughly up to 25 questions you will find in this category. Solve all the 25 questions. At any cost, if at all you make any wrong question or if you make any wrong option for any other question, marks should not be left from the damn sure questions. These are sure hits. You are going to score 50 marks out of 25 questions from this category. You should not leave marks from this particular area. Be sure when you are bubbling, as soon as once you answer the question in the question paper, once you get the answer, immediately bubble that. Don't tick the questions and don't try to bubble all the questions in the last 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Once you are okay with that answer, immediately go for the bubbling. If you are okay with question number 1, bubble immediately question number 1. And second, not okay, 3, not okay, 4, then bubble 4. Immediately fill all the bubble all the questions which you are very much sure in the first tier. In the second tier, these questions can be solved with the elimination technique. Of course, UPSC trying to avoid this kind of eliminated options, or it is giving options in such a way that it will be difficult for us to eliminate. But however, certain questions will be there, at least 10 to 15 questions will be there, which can be answered through the elimination method. You can answer that like you may not know the answer directly, but you can eliminate 2 or more options. See, if at all we are having 4 options, A, B, C, D, we are having 4 options. You don't know the answer. Without knowing the answer, if you are choosing any one option, A or B or C or D, based on God's grace, if you are choosing any one option, what is the probability of getting that answer corrected? 25%. And how much is the probability that that question is going to be wrong? 75%. So you are more vulnerable to the error. So if at all you pick this kind of questions, there will be more choices, more probability of getting that question wrong. That's why try to avoid, if at all you are not sure about any option. If the question is completely novel to you, without any hesitation, just leave that question. You did not require to answer all the 100 questions. Healthy margin is 75 to 85. This is actually the healthy margin. You can be in that category of up to 75, depends on the level of difficulty of the questions. You will see the questions, if at all the question paper is very much difficult. And of course, don't generalize based on 1 question or 2 question. Don't generalize the question paper is difficult. That is actually wrong method. Attempt after elimination at least 2 options. Rule out at least 2 options, even at least 1 option. See, attempt after elimination, at least 2 options are ruled out. Which of the following rivers originates in India and flows into Pakistan? This is a general question, simple question I have taken. Tista. See, this kind of questions are very common. Nowadays, this kind of questions has been decreased in the examination, but these kind of questions are very common. Tista, we know Tista is having dispute with respect to India and Bangladesh, and the question is about India and Pakistan. That's why 3 should not be there. I used to solve prelims like this only. I will see the odd option and I will try to check this odd option should not be there in the options. So if at all 3 should not be there, 3 should not be there, 3 should not be there, all the 3, that is 3, that includes 3. That's why all the 3 also wrong answer. So sometimes you may get the questions like this. Be patiently solve that. Don't think that how can that work. Don't judge my prediction or don't judge the statistician's opinion. You do this kind of thing. See, whatever, whether you did any kind of Maya or any kind of probability or God really helped you, no matter whether you cleared the prelims or not, what actually matters, isn't it? That's why see very patiently. Questions have to observe very patiently. So read once or read twice, thrice, and in general, whatever the option come to your mind in the first reading of the question, probably that could be the right answer. Majority of the times, that is also a kind of blind hint you can keep in mind. So this is the second category of question, and in the same category, you can also see the questions like this. If all the options are unfamiliar, leave that question. You cannot be logically eliminated, leave that question, and otherwise it may be unnecessarily risk for us. And elimination technique, always avoid this kind of extreme statements. Always, never, only, completely, entirely, totally. If you find this kind of exceptional terminology, which are called as grabbers in the examination, avoid that kind of, see, all the west flowing rivers originated in Western Ghats only. Will you accept this statement? No. All the Western Ghats, all the rivers, completely, totally avoid such kind of extreme statements. Like example, I have kept a political question. Fundamental rights are available only to citizens of India. By default, it is not the examiner, it is the English language which makes your way of answering the questions easy. It is all about, that's why it is not completely about subject oriented. It is about how you are handling the examination. It is about the logical way of interpreting the vocabulary. Alright, so do such kind of questions, avoid extreme statements. Opposite statements are majority of the times. If you find 2 opposite statements in the examination, then any one opposite statement could be the right statement. For example, Himalayas are older than Western Ghats. Western Ghats are older than Himalayas. There should be at least one answer should be correct, isn't it? At least one thing should be older, no? You think in this way, especially in case of geography, these kind of things will work. Okay? And the third category, pair-based elimination. If at all one option is wrong answer in multiple choices, if one choice is wrong, automatically the matching of the choice is automatically wrong. You know how to handle that. Like Rajya Sabha is a permanent body. So you will try that one should be the right answer. So one should be there in the option. Wherever only one was there, that could be the right answer. And let us see this also. Speaker presides over its Rajya Sabha sessions. It should be the wrong answer. There should not be the presence of 1 and 2 in the options. No matter whether it contains 3 or 4 or 5, remove that. Focus on these 2 points. It protects your time. It conserves the time during the examination, and it relieves your stress. Alright. So this is one kind of pair-based elimination. And sure questions, you can attempt sure questions like 20 to 25 questions for sure. If you attempt 20 to 25 questions, 25 into 2, you got 50 marks. You got 50 marks. And one option eliminated question out of the 4 options, one option eliminated question was there. That means we are having 3 options. Out of these 3 option questions, if you solve 10 questions, there is a probability of 3 questions. There is a probability of 3 questions were there. 3 option eliminated questions. Then your probability is 66%. Then your probability is 66%. That's why if you solve 10 questions, 6 questions will be roughly 6 or 7 questions will be wrong answer. And coming to 2 option eliminated question, this is the actual area where magic happens. 2 option eliminated questions. Try to put at least 35 to try to bubble 35 to 40 questions in this margin of 2 option eliminated questions. If you could able to eliminate 2 options in up to 40 questions, then you are on the safe side. Even if you are paying the penalty of the wrong answer, then also you will be in the positive edge. It will be helpful for you. Totally unknown, roughly about 30 questions. So totally unknown questions should be up to 30 only, up to 30% based on the trend, and remaining up to 70%. Up to 70% to 25 questions will be damn sure questions, and about 20 questions will be 50 questions, that is 2 option elimination questions. Remaining will be 1 option eliminated questions. So by this you will roughly come to a margin of 95 to 103. This is what the safest area. And don't calculate your marks in the examination. Don't calculate, guess the, based on recently also UPSC released yesterday, 2 days back, key paper has been released. There are so many errors. Don't judge yourself in the examination. Don't judge other. Don't judge the question paper. You are there to answer the questions. You are having 2 hours. Even if you solve very peacefully, the 2 hours will be adequate. Coming to the CSAT, don't stress yourself. Don't have biryani in the Sunday afternoon. Don't go to biryani. And even if at all possible, have a very light breakfast. It is better to have banana, which contains not too much banana. It contains potassium, which induces sleep in the examination. Moreover, CSAT itself actually induces the sleep. But you avoid heavy foods, arguments, foods and all. Don't read when you are going in the auto or the cab. Don't discuss after the examination with your friends regarding the questions, difficulty level. And even after coming from the examination, leave everything to time, universe. It will take care. Be with a positive mindset. And coming to the last segment, these are common things. Revise only key facts. Don't try to understand the concept. Don't again try to go through the new subject because some other person has been reading in the study hall a new material, new test series which recently released in the market. Already question paper has been prepared, dispatched, isn't it? So there won't be any kind of change. So focus on the Lakshmikant facts, spectrum more especially, and on the day of the examination, wake up, and during these 2 days, don't sleep during the time of the examination. In the morning session we are having examination, and also afternoon session. Especially the nocturnal students who works during the nights, who prepares during the nights, you please try to be wake up during this morning and the afternoon session to make your biological clock set with the actual examination time. Focus on the high impact areas. As I told you earlier, peer panic is very dangerous thing. Don't talk to a person who is negative, who told that difficult this time, I can try next year. And please don't even give eye contact also to those kind of persons, because they will spread the negativity. Negativity spread more easily, isn't it? More rapidly than that of positivity. Don't discuss with the people. Even if possible, avoid going study hall. And sleep well before the examination, that is the Saturday. Sleep well, sleep early, and eat light. Don't eat egg dosa, masala dosa, onion dosa in the morning, and don't quarrel for the extra chutney and all with that shopkeeper, with that hotel. And also be confident. See, I used to always tell, the game of life is like a game of boomerang. Your words, your thoughts, your needs come to you sooner or later with an astounding accuracy. If you are positive, automatically universe will give you positiveness, because universe works on the mathematical principles and the physical equations. That's why if you are confident, if you are positive, if you are telling yourself that I am going to do this time, and always tell in a positive sense, yes, I have already, I am doing well. I am clearing this preliminary examination. I am preparing very well for the mains examination. I am getting top marks in the optional. Always tell yourself this kind of positive affirmations. And also, if possible, during the nights and when you are going to sleep, put 1111 Hz frequency. This is called as angel frequency. 1111 frequency in the YouTube, you will find this frequency. Put the headphones in your ears. Put this mild music of 1111 frequency, and positively affirm yourself that you are going to clear examination this time, and you are going to crack the UPSC examination with top ranks. Not just clearing the service. That is not actually universe. Don't accept that. You give whatever you can tell yourself. I am going to the top ranker in the UPSC examination. I am going to clear this preliminary examination with very much ease. I didn't even care about that whether the question paper is difficult or not. It is very easy for me, because I am very much confidently prepared so far from the last 1 year. You give trust to your mind, you give trust to yourself, and tell to your subconscious mind that you already cleared the preliminary examination of 2025. Alright? At this outset, I am ending our session. I wish you very all the best, and after completion of this preliminary examination, our gates are open for your mains examination. I already know you are going to clear this preliminary examination, and our mains mentorship and our mains answer writing program is going to start from the June 1st. You are going to attend that June 1st answer writing program. In the June and July, you are going to clear general studies parallelly with optional, and in the August, you are going to write the grand test for the 2025 mains examination. Trust yourself, trust your preparation, and this UPSC long-term mentorship program called Diksuchi is also going to start from the 1st of the June first week, and online aspirants can contact on the numbers provided here, 93462 65766 8639404026. Alright, I wish you very all the best. May the God bless you and God's positive vibes with you. So you are going to certainly clear the examination, and I also positively hope, positively blessing you, you are going to clear. Alright, thank you very much. Wish you all the best. Wish you very all the best. We will meet again with the authentic key on the evening of examination itself. Thank you.